I'd like to welcome y'all back to another episode of Beyond the Fear podcast, the place where y'all come to get a little inspiration, motivation, encouragement, and just some positive words. Hope everybody's doing well today. Today's episode, man, the message for today's episode is understand what you're asking for. And when I say asking for, I mean understand what you're praying for, what you're wishing for, what you're hoping for. You know, whether you're asking God or you just asking the universe, whoever you're asking, whatever higher power you believe in that you're asking for things, understand what you're asking for. And the reason why I say that is because sometimes we're asking for things without truly understanding what we're asking for. Or we're asking for things without understanding that what we're asking for can come in many forms. So I'll give you an example, and the reason why. So I'll give you an example of that. And the example of that for me is I've been asking, I've been hoping, I've been praying about success of this podcast. That this podcast, hits, it continues to grow, and at some point, I can let my job go and focus on, podcasts and content creating full time. So that's something that I asked for. And so in my mind, what I thought success would look like would just be, when I asked for success and I asked for growth, I just meant, I'm looking at it like my expectations were, getting followers, getting viewers, being able to monetize things like that. But what I'm realizing is, when I ask for those things, I'm getting it in different forms than what I expected. Because like I said, I just told you I expected it to be viewerships, whatever. And one of the things that I got in the way of helping to help make this podcast successful is I got a job that allows me time every morning because I go in later than what I'm normally used to working when I work jobs. I'm normally used to working at 4 in the morning, 6 in the morning, whatever. This job I work a little later than that. So that allows me time to get up, brush my teeth, wash my face, do my little morning routine, and then sit down and record. So it gives me the time to record. It gives me the time to edit. It gives me the time to post. So that way I'm trying to do better with posting little clips or whatever every single day and being consistent. So it gives me a way to be consistent, and that consistency will lead to my success. And so as I'm sitting here, I was talking to one of my co-workers, Tony, shout out to Tony. I was talking to him just Tuesday, just a few days ago, about a job opportunity in another city. And, he was just like, man, just do whatever, feels right, or do what you need to do, whatever feels right and whatever works best for what you're trying to do. And, when I got the email about the job opportunity, it really got me to thinking. And that's when I came to the realization, like, dang, sometimes your prayers are being answered and you don't even know because you didn't fully understand what you were asking for. I'm asking for a way to succeed and be successful. And one of the ways that I'm going to be successful is by being consistent with, putting videos out. And the way I can be consistent with putting videos out is having the time, especially in the morning, because it's so much chaos going on when I get off, or it's just too much, too many moving parts moving around when I get off, that the morning time before I go in is like the main time that I can just sit down, have nice peace and quiet, and I can record and I can do what I need to do. And so as I'm sitting down just thinking about the email and thinking about the job, I'm realizing, like, nah, this is like where I am now is a perfect situation. Now, obviously, me being me, and I think a lot of most people, the only thing I would ask for is just some more money. But outside of that, the situation that I'm in right now is a great situation because it allows me time in the morning. And that was one of the things that I complained about that was one of the things that I didn't like when I first started the job, was the later shift. But it's been a blessing in disguise. It was a blessing this whole time because the later shift again allows me to be in a quiet space in the morning and do my podcast or do my videos or whatever, and I don't have to worry about all these moving parts moving around me because you know what I'm saying, it's just quiet most mornings. So what I thought was a bad thing ended up being a blessing. The job itself, a huge blessing because it doesn't put, you know what I'm saying, I'm not a small person, so most of my jobs have been a lot of physical labor jobs. This is one of the few jobs where that physical toll isn't so great, so it isn't putting a lot of strain on my body. So when I wake up in the morning, I'm not just aching, hurting, all of this stuff. I still have a good amount of energy in the morning. And plus, like I said, working with my boy Tony, I like who I work with. So you know what I'm saying, I don't have this I gotta go into work today, or oh man, here we go. You know what I'm saying? There isn't that, because it's not a bad job. I'm not doing anything crazy, and I'm working with somebody cool, somebody, you know what I'm saying? We talk sports, we laugh, we joke, we play, we have a good time. You know what I'm saying? So, but obviously when it's time to work, we work. But you know what I'm saying? Once we get the majority of our work done, or once we get our work done and we can just kind of sit back, talk about life, he can tell me about his experiences and things like that, because he an OG. And he can, you know what I'm saying, tell me about his life experiences and some of the things where he, feels like, hey, I see a little bit of myself in you, or man, I remember somebody who was like you. And, he just giving me game and giving me knowledge. So, man, so when I sat back after thinking about the job offer, and I sat back and I thought about it, and I'm like, nah, you know what? I'm in a blessed situation, and I was in a blessed situation without really even thinking, and without even knowing, and without even taking time to appreciate the situation that I was in, because I wasn't looking at it like that. I was just looking at the negative, you know what I'm saying? And I say this all the time. I was talking from my comfort zone, because my comfort zone tells me, man, you used to going to work at 4, 5, 6 in the morning, getting off at a certain time, you know what I'm saying? And then just, being able to enjoy the rest of your day. And so I'm just looking at this job from the standpoint of what my typical schedules would look like and what my typical work day would look like. So even though my typical work day would probably be more physical work, it's just what I'm used to. It's normal for me. So even though this job was less of a physical job, it's like, okay, I'm not used to doing this. I'm not used to doing that. So now it's unfamiliar to me. So now I'm complaining about it. And it's like, when I really stop and think about it, there's really nothing to complain about. That's just my comfort zone. That's me trying to be back in my comfort zone. That's why I'm complaining, because it's not what I'm used to. It's not what I'm comfortable with. I'm not in a bad situation at all, but I'm just in a new situation, a different situation. And I'm looking at it from the perspective of my comfort zone. But when I get myself out of my comfort zone and just look at the job itself and look at it from just a brand new perspective of not worrying about the past, but just looking at it for what it truly is, the job for what it truly is. It's a cool job, working with a cool person. It's pretty laid back. There's nothing that I really can complain about. And even the thing that I thought was going to be a bad thing, which was my time, my schedule, has actually turned out to be a blessing, because like I said, now I can record, I can do everything that I'll need to do in the morning time before I go to work. And then once we do everything that we need to do, I still can have a little small amount of time to edit some stuff while I'm at work and then put some stuff out. So it allows me to, it's just been an optimal situation that has allowed me to start posting daily now that I've stopped complaining, changed my perspective, and started realizing that this is really a blessing. So it's allowed me to get out of my own head and start realizing how good I actually have it and how blessed I truly am to be in this situation. And so, it's definitely, that's why I say understand what you're asking for, understand what you're praying for, and understand that it may come in a way that you don't expect. Because when we say success, we normally think money in our account or our business doing well. But sometimes when we ask for success, they just give us the opportunity to be successful. Meaning, for me, I have now a few hours, like a 3 hour window where it's just peaceful. I get up, brush my teeth, do what I need to do. Now I can just record for a couple of hours in peace, or record for an hour and then edit for an hour in peace. You know what I'm saying? Now that's leading to my success. So you got to understand what you're asking for, and to understand that, you know, it may not look the way you want it to look. Because I think when we all say we ask for success, we automatically think, man, that's one video goes viral, or, you know, if you got a food truck, man, people just love it, and, you know, and it just sends me off. I start making money. But it's like, sometimes success is just giving you an opportunity to make the workload easier. You know what I'm saying? So for me, that's what success, that's when I've been asking for success, praying for success, and praying, you know, to make it. That's what this opportunity is. Like, now you have a situation where you're making money, and your job isn't interfering. Your job is actually not, it's not interfering with your ability to make the videos. But not only is it not interfering, it's also allowing for a 3 hour grace period where it's quiet and you can record in peace. You know what I'm saying? So get out of that. So I had to get out of my complaining, and because I had to get out of my complaining perspective, because I was in my comfort zone. I was looking at this situation, this job, through the perspective of my comfort zone. But once I removed myself out of my comfort zone and just looked at this as the opportunity that it was, I started to realize, man, no, there's so many things in here to be thankful for. There's so many situations in this job and in this opportunity to be thankful for. There's so many opportunities here. And so, you know what I'm saying? So getting that job offer through an email opened my eyes to how fortunate and how blessed I am to be in the position that I am in. So it's allowing me to stop complaining about little things and start being thankful about things that it's allowing me to do, because I'm again starting to shift my viewpoint from my comfort zone to just being able to look at this for the opportunity that it is, instead of comparing it to my old opportunities or to my old jobs or to my old schedules. I'm just taking this as the opportunity that it is, instead of comparing it to other opportunities. And so in that moment when I realized that, I'm like, man, that's a powerful message in itself. It's just understanding what you're asking for. Again, doesn't matter who you're asking, doesn't matter who you're praying to, talking to, asking, like, you know what I'm saying? My thing is just understand what you're asking for. So another perfect example is, people always say, I'm praying for this good man, I'm praying for this good woman, I'm praying for this good relationship. And my thing is, understand what you're praying for, understand and be prepared for what you're asking for. So when you get that good person, understand that good person has gone through their healing phases. Not saying that they're done, not saying that they, because it's always more that you can do. There's always progress to be made, but just saying that they've got a lot of their healing done. They're in a place where they're secure financially. They're in a place where they're secure emotionally and things like that. And if you haven't been doing the work, they're going to see that. They're going to see, so now you've asked for this person. This person has come around and you're not prepared for this person. You're not ready for this person because you haven't been doing the work. You've been asking for it, but you haven't been preparing for it. So now that this person is here and you're not prepared, I'm not going to say that it's automatically going to fail, but there is a good chance that it's going to fail, because one thing that I know about people who've done the work, who've put the work in on themselves and have started to heal and have started to progress and have started to move forward from that trauma and from that pain, they don't want to go back to that. They don't want to be around people who see that. So you might be someone who's in the middle, who hasn't even started their healing process, or even worse, don't even realize they need healing. And someone who's done a majority of their work or have started, like I said, started to move on from that pain, they don't want to be around that. You know what I'm saying? Because they understand, yes, I've gone through that process and yes, I've healed, but I may still have some triggers. And you may represent a big trigger for them because you don't even see that you need healing. So there's no way for you to even start your journey because you don't even realize there's a journey that you need to go on. And so that can be very triggering for someone, but that's another example of you asking for something, but you're not understanding what you're asking for, because all you thinking is, oh, once I get this good partner, this partner's going to love me, this partner's going to care for me, this partner's going to, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have my forever person. But what you don't understand is there's a lot of work that goes into making that work, because you also have to love that person. You also have to care for that person. You also have to do your part to make things work. And you know what I'm saying? I think that we spend way too much time. Now, okay, because I don't want to say it the wrong way, but I think that as much time as we spend praying and asking for something, we need to spend just as much time preparing for it. So that way, when it does come to us, when it comes to us, we're ready to receive it. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to us, we've done the work to make sure that we can handle it. We've done the work to make sure that we can deal with it when it comes, because, you got to understand, like with every level, so if a blessing comes or whatever you ask for comes and it's getting ready to elevate your life, you got to understand with that new elevation comes a new set of rules, some more work to lay a new layer of foundation down. So we got to make sure that as much time as we're spending praying about something or asking for something, we're spending just as much time, if not more time, preparing for it. So you got to prepare for that success that's getting ready to come. You got to prepare for that good man or that good woman that's getting ready to come into your life. You got to prepare for this new business that's getting ready to happen. Prepare for this new level of success or this new level of fame or this new level of stardom, whatever it is that you're asking for. Start preparing for it and understand it may come in a different form than what you're thinking. You know what I'm saying? You may ask for something and you're thinking about it in your head, so you're expecting it to look a certain way. Like I did, I was expecting my success to look a certain way, so I'm not even realizing that my road to success is already in front of me. But because in my mind success is looking a certain type of way, I'm not looking at it from the standpoint of actually everything that I've been asking for it's been right here in front of me this entire time. I just didn't know what I was looking. I'm looking at my road to success this entire time, but I didn't know what I was looking at, because again, I'm thinking about success looking a certain type of way. So I'm looking left, right, up, down. I'm looking in all these directions for the success that I'm thinking in my head. I'm not looking at it like actually the road to success has been paved, where you have a situation where you have an environment, a perfect environment to record, a perfect environment to edit. You in a situation at work where, once y'all got some downtime, you can be posting, you know what I'm saying? You can be doing everything that you need to be doing, but you so busy looking this way and that way for what you think success looks like or what you feel your success looks like. You're not really even appreciating the path that's in front of you, every brick that's being laid in front of you. And so that's why, it's so important not just to understand and prepare for what you're asking for, but it's also just as important to realize that it may not look the way you want it to look. You know what I'm saying? Your success may not look the way you think it looks in your head. That good person may not look the way you think it looks. For example, you might be asking for a good person and a therapist might show up in your life. And you don't realize that this therapist and going through this therapy and going through this healing, and so that way you can move forward from that trauma and everything else, is going to lead you right to what you're asking for. So you're asking for this. This comes into your life to help you get to what you want. But because it doesn't look the way you want it to look or what you think it should look like, you don't even realize this is the key to getting that. You don't realize that this therapist is the key to opening that door to that great relationship because you just want the relationship. That's all you focused on is the relationship. You're not focused on the work. So that was me. I'm just focused on getting the viewerships. I wasn't focused on the work that would lead to the viewerships. I wasn't focused on, okay, I have a good situation where I can record. I got a good situation where I can edit and post that'll lead eventually to the viewerships. I just wanted to go straight to the viewerships. I wanted to go straight to the subscribers and getting to 1,000, 1K, 8K, 10K. That's where my mindset was, when really my mindset should have been on the work needed and the grind needed to get me to that point, because I'll get to that point if I stay on this path doing what I need to do, staying consistent, doing what's necessary to get there. But I'm so focused on the end of the race, I kind of lost, my place. You know what I'm saying? I kind of got out of the race because I was so focused on taking a shortcut to get to the end of the race. And so many, that's what a lot of us do. We understand that what we're praying for is the end of the race, but we don't realize we got so much work that we need to do to get to the end of that race. So if the end of your race is success, the end of your race is more money, a better job, a better relationship, a good man, a good woman, whatever, that's the end of your race. But you got to understand, you still got to run your race. You still have to get through your race to get to that. So if part of your race is healing, go do your healing. If part of your race is just putting your nose down, putting your head down and grinding and doing and getting through that work and putting the work in, putting the time, the energy, the effort in to get to that point, whatever it is that you got to do your work. And so I guess that's another message is, just do what you need to do. Don't lose track of where you are just because you just solely focused on the end of the race. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with understanding, okay, this is what I want my end to look like, but your route to get there may not be a straight line. Your route to get there may have all types of twists and turns in it, but that's okay because all that matters is that you get there. And so that was what happened to me is, and again, I haven't been on this journey for long. It's just been a couple of months for me. I started like in October. So it's just been a couple of months, but I lost track of my race because I was too focused on what I thought success looked like, or what I thought my road to success looked like. I was just focused, like I said, I was just focused on the views and, getting some sponsorships and getting the subscribers and getting the getting the downloads for the podcast and things like that. That's all I was focused on. And I wasn't realizing that, yes, that's a part, that's the result of the success, but there's work that needs to be done to get to that success. And I kind of lost track of the work. And now that I'm back on track and back focused and back, in tune and running my race, I'm realizing that actually my path has been smoothed out a lot. And one of the things, which like I said before, was the schedule in my job. That was one of the things that I thought was a curse or was a bad thing, and it actually ended up being a great opportunity and a blessing. But I had to change my perspective. I had to quit looking at everything through the lenses of my comfort zone or through the lenses of my past jobs, and I had to look at it from a fresh perspective of, let's just look at this as its own entity, its own opportunity. Quit comparing it to what I've been doing in my past. Stop comparing it to what I want to do in my future, and just right now in the present day, is this really an opportunity? And it truly is, because like I said, it just allows me to do what I need to do in a quiet space where I can just focus in on what I'm trying to do. I can focus in on my craft. I can focus in on just my message, my intent, and doing my best to make sure that whatever message I'm trying to get across to whoever may be watching this or listening is getting across to them. So these past couple of days have just been, it's been good for me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's also giving me way more energy to go to work. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, my energy wasn't even bad, but it's just been kind of even. Now it's good energy because, man, I'm just so thankful because again, I stopped looking at it from the perspective of my old jobs or my comfort zone. I started looking at it as, from this perspective. And it's just like, you know what? I'm blessed. I'm able to pay my bills. I got a job where I'm working with some good people. You know what I'm saying? What I'm asked to do ain't difficult. There is way too much for me to be thankful for me not to have a positive attitude. And that's not to say that that I don't have bad days. It's not to say that there aren't people at their job that, you know what I'm saying, that I don't really care for. Not gonna say I hate them. I just say that I don't really care for, because of course there's always that. There's good and bad everywhere you go. No matter how good a job is, there's always something or somebody about it that just kind of like, that ain't for me. That ain't what I like to do. But you know what I'm saying? That's okay. That's a part. That's what comes with everything. It's good and bad to everything. But the good far outweighs the bad. So it's just like, for me, it's kind of changed my mindset. It's kind of changed how I look at the job, kind of changed how I handle my job, how I handle the people that I deal with on a daily basis with that job. So, you know what I'm saying? One thing that they can honestly say is that I always come in with a smile, no matter what I may be going through. You know what I'm saying? I try to keep a smile on my face, try to always have a good time. You know what I'm saying? And I do my best to just bring positive energy with me so that I can bring positive energy to the people around me. So it's definitely changed my perspective, and I'm definitely thankful for it. And, just having a conversation with Tony the other day, it just really solidified that, man, it's been a blessing. And one of the main things that I thought was like going to be the worst part of the job has been a blessing in disguise that I didn't even know about. So I've had that going for me for these months that I've had to, because I actually started doing a podcast on my birthday, and I got this job 2 days later. So this blessing has been there. This blessing opportunity, whatever you want to call it, has been there, and it's taken me up until now, which is what, almost 3 months later, to see that it's been there this whole time. And if I can just get out of my own way, and get out of my own way and get out of my comfort zone long enough to see that, man, there are blessings and there are opportunities all around us. But sometimes we get so locked in on the negative side of things, or we get so locked in on viewing things from the wrong perspective, that we don't even see that there's opportunities all around us to do the things that we want to do, or just to make things better for us, make our job better for us. Sometimes it's just a simple conversation. You'll be amazed at what a simple conversation can do for you. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you got a problem with somebody, sometimes a simple conversation can resolve that. Or if you think somebody got a problem with you, sometimes a simple conversation can show you, no, I don't have a problem with you. I thought you had a problem with me. And now y'all like, no, I ain't got a problem with you. You ain't got and now y'all can, you know what I'm saying? That can clear the air with a lot of things. So sometimes it's something that's just as simple as a conversation. Other times it's as simple as, you know what? Let me stop comparing this. Let me stop comparing what I'm doing now to what I used to do. Let me stop comparing the person that I'm with now with the person that I used to be with. Let me stop comparing. You know what I'm saying? Just stop comparing things and just enjoy what you have for what it is. Or take a real look at what you have for what it is and realize, okay, it ain't what it used to be. And that's okay. Can I handle what it is now? And we got to stop hoping things, you know what I'm saying? Stop trying to transform things into something that we feel is better. So I feel like, man, we sabotage ourselves sometimes because, again, we'll compare something, whether, like, just take the job, for instance, we'll compare our job to an old job. Like, it's not the same job. You got to look at this job for what it is. And then sometimes we'll say, well, it'd be great if this job was this, or it'll be better once I'm able to get this shift or that shift or whatever. And you know what I'm saying, now we're trying to transform this job into something that it's not. Like, just take the job for what it is. And if it's not what you're looking for, cool. It's okay to say, you know what, this ain't what I'm looking for. obviously I would stay with the job until I find something else, but there's nothing wrong with looking while you have a job. You know what I'm saying? I was watching a video, and they were like, that's the perfect time to be looking for another job, is while you have one. Don't wait until you lose the job to be looking for something else. I always be looking, because you just never know what's out there, or you know what I'm saying? You never know, because you might find another job. You know, you might go to put your 2 weeks notice in there because you just got another job, and they may be like, nah, we can't afford to lose you. And now they're willing to give you what you need. And you know, something, and that don't always happen, but you just never know. The point that I'm making is that we don't know what opportunities are out there if we don't look. If all you doing is you're focused here, and granted, if you doing what you love to do, and this is your mission, and this is your purpose, and you feel like you found your purpose, ain't nothing wrong with having that. You got that tunnel vision, but you got to understand that, you know what I'm saying, you miss out on a lot of opportunities too with having that tunnel vision. You got to understand that if this is my path, this is my path, but there's nothing wrong with me looking to see what's going on over here, what's going on over there, because I still know what my path is. And so that's just where I am in life. It's like I'm starting to figure my path out, but I'm also figuring out that there may be an opportunity over here. There's nothing wrong with me stopping over here to see what this opportunity holds and what that opportunity holds. And once I've done that and seen that, and if it's for me, cool. If it's not for me, get back on my, you know what I'm saying? But as long as I'm staying on my path, there's other opportunities that I can pick up along the way on my journey. I don't have to just stick to this and miss these opportunities because I'm not looking, you know what I'm saying? Or because I miss opportunity because I don't see it as an opportunity, because in my mind, all I view opportunity, I see in my mind, an opportunity looks a certain way. And because that's my expectations, so now if it don't look like what I'm expecting an opportunity to look like, I'm gonna skip it over because I don't see it as an opportunity. So again, sometimes expectations kill us too, because we expect an opportunity to look this way. We expect our prayers to be answered a certain way, and it's like you got to take those expectations out, because sometimes your prayers are being answered in ways that you don't even realize, because your expectations are telling you to look for this, when your answers being prayed, your prayers have been answered, but it looks something totally different than what you're expecting. So you don't pass by your answered prayer. You don't let your answered prayer, move right by you, because you're expecting it to look a certain way. So sometimes we got to get rid of expectations. And when we ask for things and when we pray about things, we got to understand exactly what it is that we're asking for. And we got to understand that it may not look the way we expect it to look. So you got to make sure that you're turning over every single rock. You looking in every single direction for every single opportunity, because you just never know which one of these things may be an answered prayer or a blessing in disguise, and you don't know it because your mind is telling you to expect it to look a certain way, and you pass it right on up because it doesn't look the way you expect it to look. So man, so that's all I really wanted to say. That's really it for today's message. Is just, man, start understanding what you're praying for. Like, understanding that your words are powerful, your prayers are powerful. You know what I'm saying? Your ability to manifest things is powerful. But understand what you're praying for. Understand what you're trying to manifest. Be as detailed and as specific as possible, because a broad prayer like success can look 100 different ways, so you know what I'm saying. Shout out to my girl Shonda, because she said the same thing to me when I was just talking to her about the things that I wanted for my podcast, and she was like, you got to be more specific. So shout out to her for saying that. But yeah, and I agree, and now I understand. Now I'm closer to understanding why. And so yeah, just understand what you're asking for, what you're praying for, and understand that it may not look how you want it to look. It may look completely different than how you think it's going to look. And be doing the work. If you're praying 3-4 times a day for hours at a time. Make sure you're preparing for whatever it is that you're praying for just as much. You know what I'm saying? We got to start preparing for the things that we're praying for, because we pray for things and when they come, we're not ready for them. We can't handle them because we haven't been putting the work in to receive it. You know, we receive it and then it's just too much for us. You know what I'm saying? So just start preparing as much as you're praying for those things. You know, you got to prepare for them so that way you can handle it. You're ready to receive it. You're ready to deal with it. You're ready to handle everything that comes with it, because we talk about success. We talk about fame. We talk about these things, but there's a lot that comes with it. There's a lot that comes with success. There's a lot that comes with fame. There's a lot that comes with money. You know what I'm saying? And all these things that we tie in with success, there's a lot of things that come with it. Now you got to ask yourself, you've been asking for this success. Are you preparing? Are you doing the prep work to handle it when it comes? Are you making sure that the people around you are good, solid people? Are you making sure that the people around you aren't people that you're worried about them taking your money? Are you making sure that the people around you, your circle, is a solid circle? Can they handle what's getting ready to come? Can they handle what's getting ready to happen to you and happen for you? Are you ready if this next level or whatever is about to get ready to happen to you, certain people can't come? You know what I'm saying? So it's, you know, we got to start preparing for the things that we're asking for. So, but yeah, that's my message for today, man. Just again, I just want to make sure that because I keep going on different tangents every time I say it, but you know, just again, understand what you're asking for. Understand that what you're praying for may not look the way you want it to look, and start preparing for the things that you're asking for. Because if you believe in yourself, you believe in God, you believe in whatever you're asking for, it will come. So start preparing for it. And I just want to thank everybody who's listening on whatever platform you're listening on. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. And for anybody watching on YouTube, y'all already know, like, comment, subscribe, and please share. I want to continue to grow this family and continue to grow this platform. And y'all have a blessed day.